Am I audible, sir?
Yes, hi.
Yes, sir. So, shall we start, sir?
Yes, we shall.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So, good evening, sir, and good evening to everyone who are attending this session. And I am Bhargavi Sriraman, one of the content writers in Legal Law Forum. Legal Law Forum is in Nagpur, and we are working as a team in promoting legal awareness among the students and others by providing blogs, articles, and daily news updates, and providing internship opportunities to the students also. We are very happy and glad to invite you as our speaker in this session, sir. Sir is Advocate Mr. Shreyu Saha. He is our speaker for today's LLF session. He is the founding partner at sah&mehrotra Associates. He completed his undergraduate law degree from Symbiosis International University and went to Queen Mary University of London and completed his LLM in intellectual property law. He is having wide experience in IPR by giving services in playing major roles as leading legal advisor and senior associate and in various responsible roles. Thank you for joining us today, sir.
Thank you so much, Bhargavi.
Yes, sir.
So,
So
thank
shall we
you.
proceed with questions, sir, or do you have anything to add, sir?
I would just like to, thank Legal Law Forum from my end and from sah&mehrotra Associates to have me over here. And congratulations for doing a wonderful job with respect to students as far as the learners and law community is concerned as a whole. The things that the basically the sessions that you guys are undertaking are very much beneficial and more of a practical on a practical side what law students basically fourth and fifth year students that they need to know. You guys are doing a very good job and thank you so much for that. So, and thank you
Thank you,
for
sir.
inviting. So, yes, you may start the session, whatever, if there are any things that you need to add up.
Yeah, sure, sir. Sure, sir. Yes, so college placements are one of the attractive amenities nowadays college are providing. But many of us were not aware what is the reality behind that college placements. And here we are having sir to help us to explore the truth behind the college placements. So let me proceed with our first question. So, sir, what do you mean by college placements basically?
Okay. So, the first thing that I would like to put forward to the student community in general and every learner or not just with respect to law field, but any other disciplinary side if they are completing their bachelor's or master's from, then one thing that you need to understand that if you go outside India or in any if you are going to take any Western education, there is no concept of campus placement or college placements per se. So now, what exactly is college placement? What exactly do students and learners in India understand by that is they blatantly think that if we select a good law college or any other college for that matter, then after completing our course or when we are in final year or when we are a penultimate year students, then our college is going to get us placement or get us placed or get us a job in a decent firm somewhere. Now understand that colleges generally they are not companies, right? They are an institution. So thinking that an institution who's giving you a knowledge of one particular subject will also get you placed is, I would say, a little far-fetched from our end, if I am saying. Even when we were, when we were students, like 15 years ago, we also used to think that considering we are in a very premier institute, we are studying in the best law school of India, we will be placed in a very high paying. We will be getting high paying job. We will get decent salaries. However, like it is a myth at the moment. right? So, uh, what as a student, when you are selecting a college, don't think that just because this college has a good placement record, you will also get placed. That is a myth, right? So it is possible that if you join a very good law college, you will get decent placement. That is also not true. And also thinking that considering you have selected some not a premier law institute, or you have selected a very low ranking national law university, you won't be placed. That is also not true. So everything depends on basically your merit. So I'm sure like when this session will like proceed, we will decipher more of such myths. So if there is any other question, you may post that also, so that like I won't overlap anything.
Yeah, okay, sir. Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Yeah. So the next question is the what is the process of the college placements, or how do placements takes place in the college campus?
Okay. So every college has got their own criteria of how campus placements would start, how they will initiate from their end. Now, however, like the common flow of any college and the common flow any college adopts in order to get their students placed is the first screening. Now, you need to understand that if the strength of a college is, suppose, 150 students, just be sure that all 150 students are not going to be placed. Now, even if you are thinking, even if you have seen in the prospectus of any law college that our 100% students are placed, that 100% does not mean the 100% capacity of the students of law college. That 100% only means the final list of students out of 150 that college has permitted to sit in their placement team, right? Now, it may happen that first screening would be done on the basis of how much uh, uh, is a student scoring, right? What has been there, some of the law colleges may also put some restrictions that if there has been any KT, or if there has been any backlog in any of the subjects in any of the previous semesters, then also the students may not sit for placements. They may also put a restriction that if you don't have a publication, you won't be able to sit. If you don't have a tier one law firm internships, then also you won't be fit. So basically in every scenario there would be a point based system. They would give some point to one or two, or like certain categories of like qualifiers from the students, and if the students, if the learners qualify those points, then all the marks would be added up, and they might also say that only top 20 students out of all that marks, whatever aggregate we are getting, only top 20 students will be sitting for placement. Out of that 20, then they will be selecting, or they will be like sending their CVs to other law firms or companies or in-house, wherever they have a contact. So this is how basically, in short, college placements work.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So, our next question is that guaranteed placements, does it really exist?
See, if again, as I've said, if a law college has put this guaranteed placement in their prospectus, then again there are fine lines written what exactly are the terms and condition of guaranteed placement. If some MBA colleges, they may say that we have got guaranteed placement, you may think that yes, 100 students out of 100 students will get placed. But as far as law is concerned, law is a profession, right? It is not a management stream. So they, like, basically in India, campus placement started off with MBA colleges. It is not something which actually started with law colleges. Legal profession, as the name suggests, is a profession, right? A professional has got their own contacts also during 5 years of like internship of the college. They have made enough contacts in order to secure a pre-placement offer also, right? Even we have got many students who were in when like some interns when we have got, they were in third year. We were so impressed that we had on the spot said that once your fifth year is complete, you may come and join us, not an issue, right? So it actually that 100% guaranteed placement, if a college is saying, maybe in the previous years they have also considered the pre-placement offers students, like the students who have received placement offers from their end will also be included in their list, that these are the students who have received placement from our college. So a third party or the person who's selecting a college in order to study in that college will not be aware that so many students have received placement from there and only. So every student has got every student has got an opportunity that by the end of fifth year they will be able to secure their own uh, law job, like a decent job. If not there, then every college has got few students who do not want to jump into profession immediately. They would want to complete their masters. Some would want to go abroad to complete their LLM. Someone would write some other competitive papers. Someone would want to go to appear for UPSC or any other competitive exams. Someone would sit for judiciary. So the students who finally make their application to sit for placement also comes down to some points after, if the strength of a college, let's say again, is 150, then only 100 students I know would only apply to sit in the placement. So that is again one myth, basically, I would say. So we can proceed with another question.
Yeah, okay, sir. Sure, sir. So our next question is, what is the reality of the college placement?
Yeah, so again, the reality of college placement would again be, I would say, a college has got a few recruiters who are in their good books, right? Now, every time you will see that there in every college there is one top, star recruiter. Every year, if one that star recruiter would come, you know that only top few students are going to sit for that recruitment. So one thing I would say is like this is one reality of campus placement. Another I would say uh, uh, is again, like, not every student is going to be placed. That you have to think from your end. As a student, you have to be positive, basically. And one more thing I have seen, like, because I have been in practice, I have also been on your shoes also. I was also a final year student at one point of time. I have also been in academics, so I have also taught in national law university, so I know how everything works, right? And what goes on in the minds of a student, also what goes on in the mind of college also. College also wants that their student gets placed, right? However, college is not a company and students are not consumers, right? Students also from their end think and know, and they should try to understand that they are not going to get that 100% guaranteed placement thing. If they are asking from the college, that is not going to happen. However, if you are also putting your effort from your end and college is also putting, there are chances that your help and college help, by both effort, you might secure a job. Now, another thing is also that needs to be understand, that do you really want that job just for the sake, because there is a peer pressure, your friends are getting placed in some company, you also want to get placed, you want to get a job offer from the college. Is it that you really want? I've seen some students who have secured placement from the college, but they have left it because they have realized that this is not that we want. Although by doing so, they have lost an opportunity to sit in the campus restrictions also. If you have refused, if you have sat for one like company, you will not be able to sit for any other company. That also, that these are also some like rules of some of the universities. But do you really want that job is something that you need to focus from your end. So for example, if there is an LPU which has come to the university, right? Do you really want to see yourself 5 years down the lane being a contract manager? Is it that what you want, or do you want yourself to be called as an advocate after a few years of practice, right? So once you get into a corporate job, once you get into LPO, I would say like in-house, you do not work as an advocate. You only work as a counsel, right? So there are things that you need to research on right now only. So there are different jobs, right? So first thing is that if you get into a chamber of an advocate or you secure a job in a law firm, you will be working as a retainer. You need to understand the difference between a retainer and a manager, right? There is a difference. As a retainer, you will be working as an advocate, you will be appearing in the court as an advocate, you will be arguing in the court as an advocate. However, if you are an in-house counsel in a company or in a like top, like consumer like electrical company or any other company, so will you be working as an advocate? No, you will only be given a tag of a legal manager. You will not be an advocate at that point of time. So these are two different kinds of job. The third one is, suppose if you are if you want to get into an LPO, then again you are a contract manager, right? So do you want yourself to be called as a contract manager? Because there are firms who would actually not take your experience as an LPO professional also, right? So even though you will be very good in contracts, right? But you will not be, if like I'm not saying in the very fifth year, but few years down the lane in practice, your practice won't be counted in those law firms or in those in-house companies also. So that is also one side of the campus placement, the truth behind campus placement. So do you want that? You need to focus right now only, or you want to actually get into practice? You want to join a law chambers and like a few years down the lane, like you will realize that no, I actually want litigation. I want myself to be a litigation lawyer and not in a law firm or something. So that is also like uh, so that actually I would say like these 5 years of internship experience that you gain, it is actually given, and it is also necessary for you to realize which field or which sector you actually want to go. So let's
Okay,
move
sir.
on to the
Sure,
next
sir.
question.
Yes, sir. Um, so do all placements depend upon the college we choose? That's the next question, sir.
Sorry, once again, please.
Do all placements depend upon the college we choose?
Actually, it actually depends. I would say it depends on the college. It depends also on how the students are performing. It depends what are the contacts of the students also. So, as I had mentioned, that students need to like realize, and during that 5 years of internship, they should uh, like experiment with different types of institutions in order to get their internship. So it is possible that uh, like by the end of fourth year and by fifth year, some student who had a good inclination towards corporate field, by the end of fourth year, fifth year, they have realized that I actually want to be a litigation lawyer. So they would focus a senior advocate in any of the courts. So I would say district court to start with is a very good place where you can actually learn how drafting is, done, right? So from the grassroots level, it is understood that from the grassroots level that knowledge has to be gained, right? So try to see what are the working of a district court, see how the litigations, how things in high court is different from district court, then also see how things in Supreme Court are different from other courts, right? Supreme Court primarily is a constitutional court, and also original original some of the original jurisdiction is there. However, it is also a court of highest appeal, right? So these things have to be experimented while you like interning during your uh, law student years. So that is also one of the criteria that is also dependent on like how your placement is going to go. So it is not just, I would say, in the hands of your college. Your placement is also very much in your hands.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir. So our next question is, what role do college placements play?
Uh, so actually, this is again something which I would say that almost we have covered in the previous like sessions, previous minutes. However, see, one thing as I have said that it guarantees you your like a few like earning. That's it. So you can by college placement, if you have secured a college placement, you can be very sure that once your college is over, you will start earning as soon as you've gotten your degree, or even during a provisional degree. Now, what you need to understand is, again, as I've said in the previous minutes, that do you really want that like easy money that you were thinking that your college placement would actually grant you? Now you need to like focus on that area. There are very few students, I would say, as again as it is said that they are like students only, right? So you need to get into professional world, you need to understand, you need to experiment with your life, you need to experiment in different stream. Then maybe if you are practicing for a few years, you would realize that this is not I want, right? I have seen students, I've seen learners who have gotten into a LPO, very decent package. They are very good, like some of the LPOs in India, they would pay you a starting salary of more than a very good law firm also. However, after getting into a very good position in those LPO, those professionals realize that we are not getting anywhere, right? I need to start learning what real law is. I need to start learning what procedural law is. So then they give up their career in order to build up their practice with a help of some clients that they have already gotten uh, during their years of their professional career. They would start from the very beginning. So that is, I would say, is it.
Okay, sir. So our next question is, are campus placements difficult?
Campus placement, see, the thing is, if you are in first year, I would say that get to know from your seniors how the campus placement is happening in your college. Try to build your CV according to that. By the end of fifth year, I am sure that you will not ask that, or you will not have in mind that the campus placement was difficult at all, right? Because
Yeah,
there are certain criteria. You know that these criteria will still be there when you are in fifth year. And when you are in fifth year, if you are meeting those criteria, let's for example, if there is a criteria that we will give 2 marks per internship, and minimum 6 internship has to be done when you are sitting for when you are sitting for campus placement. There are high probability that there are few of your batchmates who are doing 2 internship in one holiday, right? So they are anyways getting 4 marks in one internship in one semester itself, right? There are students, there are colleges who give 2 marks or like few marks for publication. And I'm sure there is, like, when you are getting your assessment done, every semester you must be writing like article for each subject according to the, like, I think mostly all of the law colleges have got this thing that one article each, like, per paper you have to submit to your concerned teacher. One of the students will write a good article and get it published each semester. Now understand that those students are actually building up their CVs with respect to the campus placement only, right? So you can also focus on those things. You can actually start building your CV according to your campus placement rules. So if you are doing that, it is not difficult at all. Only thing that you need to focus on is interviewing skills, right? Building up your CV. Your CV must be very good. How do you present it to the prospective employer? You must be a very good student. I have seen personally there are very good students, there are very excellent CVs, but when they come for interview they are unable to answer anything. So what as an employee, what will I understand of those students? Do I think that no, because like CV is very good, should I take it? But what if the CV was built up in that way, right? So you have to focus from both the sides, right? You have to focus from the employer's perspective also, that am I actually useful for the employer? If I am applying in that firm, will I be useful? Will I work in that law firm or in that company with the same zeal that I would work in any other company? So suppose if my area of interest is intellectual property, right? And someone from taxation, like some very good law firm from taxation comes over there, I said, because my CV is very good, because I have gotten very good marks, I am able to sit for that interview. Will I be able to stay there in that company? So that also has to be considered from the student's perspective only. So it is not, I would say, it is not that difficult in order to crack a campus placement.
Okay, sir. Also, yes, sir. So our next question is, what if any of the students fail to get placed via campus placement?
It is not end of the world, right? Every student should understand that campus placement does not mean anything at all. I did not sit for my campus placement, right? I did not want to sit in a campus placement because I knew my area of interest from the very beginning was intellectual property, right? None of the intellectual property company was coming to the campus placement, so there was no use of sitting into a campus placement. Also you need to, like, take opportunity, and you should, like, exploit the present situation according to your needs. So when I was in my final year, the world was actually going through a great depression, financial depression. And believe me, even the top colleges, top national universities of India had gotten no placement, or very few placement. There was very good placements also, but not all of the universities, top universities, had guaranteed placement to their students, because every law firm used an excuse of the recession. And right now, I'm, like, very sympathetic to the students who passed out in 2020 and 2022 because of the corona. Every law firm is actually taking an excuse of COVID, and they are not paying that much. Even if there is no difference in the billings that they are getting from their client, there are no differences. However, they will take that excuse in order to, like, uh, gain their profits, just because an excuse is there. However, I exploited it with going abroad and studying for masters, because exchange rate was very less at that point of time. And I think if now I have to think of going abroad and studying, I will not be able to do, because there is huge, like inflation. There is huge difference in the cost of pound or dollar or Canadian dollar or Australian dollar for that matter. So even simple fees of like staying there will not be able to be, I mean, we cannot like do that. We cannot handle that. So that thing has to be exploited from, again, I would say, from the students end.
Okay, sure. So, is there any alternative for the campus placement, sir?
Yes, so there are many, basically, I would say, headhunters now in the market. You need to like start approaching them. The first thing that every student, I would say, has to do right now is exploit social media, right? Exploit LinkedIn. Go to LinkedIn, make a very good profile of yours. Like, try to connect with headhunters. There are many good headhunters over there, out there. Uh, some of the professional ones are Bahura, Council of Bahura are there. Then Legal League is there. Uh, Try to connect with these pages, and I'm sure like they in the from time to time they come up with many ideas, like how you should build up your CV, how you should, like, present yourself. There are like Times jobs are there, Monster jobs are there, Naukri.com is there. You should, like, start with a free subscription. See like how you need to build up your CV, post your CV over there. I'm sure there are like hundreds of, like, or of like entry level job. There is, I won't say there is any recession. I won't say that no one is hiring. There are lots of jobs in the market. If you actually want to just get placed, for starting, like, for an entry level job, securing that is not very difficult at the moment. So people may say that COVID is there, but again, that is a blessing in disguise. You will be actually working from your home only, and starting your working from the home is very good rather than going to an office at the very beginning, right? So start with that, experiment with that. That, like, that is not an issue. So campus placement is not an end to your career, right?
Okay, sir. So, shall we have some two to three questions, sir?
Yes, yes, sure.
Yeah, sure, sir. Thank you, sir. So, is there any common placements rules, sir?
Yeah, as I said, like, in the first question that we had handled, there are a few set criteria of how campus placement goes on. Like, the first thing is that your college straight away would say that only top 100 students would be sitting for placement. You will try to be in at least top one third of the students, I would say, every time when you are in your college. Like, give good attendance, go to your lectures, like, because most of the universities nowadays are giving 5 marks just for attendance also, right? So secure free marks. Only going by the college, attending your lectures, you can actually secure a few marks. Then again, do internships. uh, I know, like, you need to come to your parents also. If you are not like staying in the same city, you need to sit with your like parents also. But again, there are almost 3 months in a year that you get off from your college. Try to do 3 weeks internship at some of the, like, institutions. At least in one year, if you are doing two internships, that is like perfectly fine. Try to get hold of, or try to see where the top placements, students of the previous years, where have they worked. Try to take contacts of those institutions, contacts of those advocates, senior advocates. Go and learn with them. And also, when you are in a law firm, if you are going for an internship, please be sure that nobody teaches, right? You have to ask for your ask for the work. You have to learn the work on your own. Your senior would tell you that research on these principles. However, why is that principle being researched? You need to understand on your own. You need to ask for the file of the complete documents of the case law that you are working on. You need to like read thoroughly. So yes, I know, like during internships, it is a very joyous time because lots of students come together outside their campus and they go to some different city to go for for their internship, maybe Mumbai, maybe Ahmedabad, Delhi for that matter. So that is also important during weekend or at night. Explore the city, but at the office time, give 100%. So that is one thing that I would ask the students to do.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, our next question is that what are the pros and cons of campus placement?
See, the pros, I would say, the first and the best thing is that you won't have any peer pressure. The pressure and that a student goes through in the final year is a lot, right? So when you are in standard 10th, when you are in standard 12th, and when you are in the final year of your law school, the pressure that the student goes through is similar. However, when you are in fifth year, the pressure is much, much more in nature because there are many students who have got insomnia, who are unable to sleep in the last year just because they have got so much tension that what will happen? Will they be able to be placed somewhere? So pros is there that you know that you are getting placed in some of the good institution. You will start with a decent package. You will at least survive on your own. Right? It may be a hand to mouth only. You may be getting 30,000 only, maybe getting 35,000 only, but you will start earning as soon as you are out of the law college. That is the pro of basically campus placement. Cons, I would say, is that you might not be able to select where you want to actually work, right? So the first thing is that, as I said, there are criteria, set criteria. So students and the learners and the people who are on this side of the edge, they get lost in all these activities in order to and by the end of the time they do not realize that this is not where they want to be. Like they want to see themselves 5 years down the lane. So they thought they were just going with the flow, right? They thought that yes, a good a campus placement would grant them a good decent amount of money, but after working for a year, they would say that I don't want this stream at all. I don't want to work in an intellectual property firm. I don't want to work in a taxation firm also. So I don't want to be a corporate lawyer. I want to be a defense attorney. I want to be working with the state. I want to be working with a a good public prosecutor. I want to work with a good senior advocate. So everything is there. So that might, I would say, that might not be possible if you are selecting a campus placement. There are students who have always focused that I want to be a corporate lawyer. For them, it is very good. But I won't say that 100% of the students would fit into the same category.
Okay, sir. So there is one last question.
Mhm.
So is there any tips or suggestions for students for preparing for the college placement?
Yes, I would say that you uh, see there are times jobs or get into naukri.com. There are different set of questions that they give in order to prepare for interview. Now, the first thing is that you need to build up your CV, right? Whatever you have done, making in or adjusting those things in 2 pages is actually an art, right? Because 3 pages to 4 pages, see, if you are a fresher, nobody is going to see because everybody knows that you have not got so much achievement that you are taking 3 to 4 pages for your CV, right? 3 pages is okay if you have got lots of achievement. If you are writing that much thing into it, then again that is fine, right? But you need to focus on how to highlight the best part of your career in your CV. So that is actually a truth that if you have written lots of things in your body of your mail, nobody is going to read everything. Make highlights of your best part, best achievements in that body of the mail also, and in your basically a cover letter and your CV. Try to learn to write that. Try to learn how to face an interview. It is very important because lots of students they get so nervous when they are in an interview that they do not answer anything, or even if they know something, they would give a wrong answer. Sometimes employer also, just to test the knowledge of the student, they would try to fool them around, even if they have given a right answer, and they will see if the students get confused or not. If they get into a pressure, then again that is not something which is desirable at the point when getting or reaching an interview stage is also very difficult, right? So these are the few tips. Focus on these things, fine tune your language skills, fine tune, and also you have to be presentable when you are going in an interview. Well dressed person is will always be, I will say that this is not hard and fast criteria, but they will always be a presentable person will always be preferred over a shabby person, right? So that has to be taken care when you are reaching an interview stage. So these are the things, if you focus, I'm sure even if you are not sitting in the campus placement, will always get a decent placement by the end of the fifth year, or if after fifth year.
Okay, so thank you so much for this beautiful session. So would you like to add anything else, sir?
I would say, again, I would say, thank you, Legal, for having me on board, and thank you for having inviting sah&mehrotra for this wonderful session. You guys are doing a wonderful job, and if any of the students they need to like approach us in the future, also they may like send us a message on Instagram. Also, we have got a page with the same name, and any basically difficulty which students are facing, we are always up for it.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. It was really very interesting and informative session with you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Legal again.